He's a handsome man, good build, strong in the neck and deep in the chest, with hands that got strong and dark working summers in construction, helping himself through school after Vietnam. Black hair combed back, gray on the sides, blue eyes. When he looks at you, it's the same expression he gets in the car, head back a little, almost sleepy, but the eyes are alert. And if he smiles, the lines of his 54 years frame it in a way that convinces people that he knows and likes them. And most of the time he does. Joe, pay attention to Medina tonight. Mouth shut, eyes open. You might actually learn something. Mouth shut, eyes open. You might actually learn something. One of Will's earliest lessons. He closed the calendar and slid it back into the briefcase, clicked it shut, looked at his watch again. Then he leaned against the headrest and lowered his eyelids halfway and watched the white middle-class boulevard of Tustin become the barrio of Santa Ana. How was work today? Quiet, sir. It's always quiet in there, unless there's a fight or a race riot. Yes. By day, I'm a deputy for the Orange County Sheriff's Department. I work the Central Jail Complex, as do all new deputies. I've worked the jail 4 years now. Another year I'll qualify for reassignment to patrol and start becoming a real cop. I'm 24 years old. I became a deputy because Will told me to. That's what he was until he got elected supervisor. Will told me to become a deputy because he thought it might be a good lesson for me, and because he thought it would be useful for him to have a kick-ass son in the sheriff's department. Down on 4th Street, not far from the jail where I work, there's the Hispanic American Cultural Front. It's Jaime Medina's outfit. HACF does good things, distributes money and goods to the Hispanic poor, offers scholarships and stipends for needy students, expedites immigration, shelters families in crisis, all of that. But because of this misunderstanding about when Medina's almost citizens could vote, the DA is considering closing down the place on charges of conspiracy and election fraud. They raided the HACF building last week for records. Front-page picture of guys in suits lugging cardboard boxes to a van. Will shouldn't have been going there with an investigation pending, and he's good friends with the DA, Philip Dent, one more reason to keep his nose clean while the investigation played out. But Will also represents Medina's district on the Board of Supervisors, a district you can't win without the Hispanic vote and Hispanic dollars. Another political pinch, one of the thousands in any supervisor's life. Sooner or later he'll have to take a stand, because, as Will taught me early on, politics is action. Joe, Jennifer's going to have something for us. While I'm talking to Jaime, put it in the trunk and lock it. Yes, sir. I turned left off the boulevard, checking the mirrors again, looking out at the zapateria on the corner, the bridal store on the other with all the white-laced mannequins in the window. I studied the cars behind us, the people on the sidewalk. I was a little nervy myself that evening. Something in the air? Maybe. Maybe nothing that obvious. Even with the windows up and the air conditioner blowing, you could hear the Mexican music jumping from the discoteca, a polka on mescaline. A dark-faced man in a white cowboy hat and boots stopped at the curb to let us turn, maybe recognizing Will Trona's car, maybe not, his face a walnut deadpan that had seen everything and was no longer impressed by any of it. Then into a dirt parking lot in the shade of a huge pepper tree, facing the back door of the HACF headquarters. We stepped into the pleasant heat, and Will, dressed in his usual trim dark suit and carrying his leather briefcase, led the way in. The back doors were locked, so Will rapped hard. Open up, Jaime! La migra! The door cracked open, then swung all the way. As usual, you're not funny, said Jaime. He was a slender young man with stooped shoulders, tortoiseshell eyeglasses, and khaki trousers that looked 2 sizes too big. The racists raid me, and you run away. So now I'm back. Let's do business. I'm in a hurry. Medina turned and walked down the hall, Will following, then me. They went into the office, and Jaime shut the door behind them, acknowledging me for the first time with a hurried nod as the door shut. I'm used to being ignored. I prefer it. With a face like mine, you don't want people paying attention to you. One of the first things Will taught me was that people were far less eager to gawk at me than I thought they were. He said that most people were afraid to even look. He was right. That was 19 years ago, when he first took me into his home. I went down the hall, through a set of saloon doors, and checked the workroom. There were 6 stations, desk, phone, stacks of papers, and 3 chairs at each for clients. American flag on one wall, Mexican one on the other, travel posters, soccer posters, bullfight posters. Quiet. No clients since the raid. No workers since the raid, except Jennifer, the assistant director under Jaime. Good evening, Miss Avila. I took off my hat.